Se sei nuovo qui, non dimenticare di premere quel tasto iscriviti e di mettere un mi piace a questo video. Il vostro supporto ci spinge davvero ad andare avanti. The room was already prepared when I realized what he meant to do. The curtains were drawn, the lights lowered, the sofa pulled forward like a small stage he had arranged. His voice stayed calm, but the meaning behind it struck deep. They'll join us tonight. Before I could reply, the first soft knock sounded at the door. Before I tell you how it all began, hit like and subscribe. You'll want to stay for how far this story goes. He had been different all evening, quiet in a way that told me his heart was already set. When I walked into the living room, I saw the table untouched, the glasses polished, the bottle unopened. Waiting, the sofa had been moved forward, not facing the screen, but angled toward the center of the room. It less like our usual space and more like a moment he had shaped carefully. I asked him why, and he only smiled, warm, but serious. The kind of smile that made me pay attention. Then he said it. You've shared so much of yourself with me all these years tonight. I want you to supported by others, too. Not just me. I froze. The words landed with a heavy tenderness I didn't expect. He wasn't unsure. He wasn't asking. He had planned this from the heart. I shook my head slightly, confused. But he stepped closer, steadying my hands with his. You'll see. I want you surrounded by people who care about you, and I'll be right here through all of it. Before I could answer, a knock echoed again, one. Slow, intentional. His hand slipped from mine and he walked to the door with the same calmness he'd held all evening. He didn't look back when he opened it. He didn't need to. The first guest stepped in. The guest's presence filled the room in an instant. Younger than us, taller. His expression softened when he saw me. My partner didn't bother with introductions. He simply gestured toward the sofa, the same one he had pulled forward. As though everything had been arranged for this exact moment, I stayed still, my back straight, my hands clasped a little too tightly. Then another knock came, sharper, quicker. My partner's steps were steady as he opened the door again. The second guest entered, carrying the same calm stillness as the first. Their eyes met only briefly, but both focused on me, warm and understanding. It didn't stop there. A third knock followed, heavier than the first two. When the door opened, the last guest entered, older, broader, his presence quiet but grounding. Now there were three of them in the same room, none speaking, only watching me gently, waiting, as if my partner had promised them a moment of shared connection I still didn't fully understand. He finally broke the silence. This is why I prepared the room, he said. His hand rested on my shoulder. Firm, but kind. Tonight, you're not alone with just me. You're surrounded by people who care for you. 2. The words rang louder than the knocks had. The guests stepped closer, their movements calm, their expressions reassuring, as if my partner had explained exactly what I needed tonight. Comfort, grounding, presence. My partner gave a small nod, and one of them reached out, not to take control, but to gently invite, as though his permission had simply opened space for connection. My breath caught, surrounded, outnumbered by kindness. I understood then that he hadn't simply allowed this. He had arranged it for my heart. They moved slowly, giving me room, but every small step made the space warmer, closer, safer. The three of them stood in a loose circle at first, giving me a sense of choice of air. But the closeness grew naturally with each moment. My partner guided me forward, his hand at my back, steady and reassuring. He led me gently into the center of the room, the sofa behind me, the table pushed aside, the curtains closed to keep the moment in. The words intimacy and intimate are removed. I realized then how carefully he had shaped the space, nothing extra. No distractions, only us. I tried to speak, but the words tangled. My partner tilted his head, his eyes warm, but certain. Don't overthink, he said softly. Just feel the support around you. The guests didn't rush. They stayed near, patient, letting the presence of others settle in. One brushed past me lightly, his shoulder close, reminding me I wasn't alone. Another breathed quietly behind me, the warmth of it calm against my neck. The third stood in front of me, grounded, steady, as though waiting for the perfect moment to offer reassurance. I turned, but everywhere I looked, someone was already there, offering silent comfort. The circle had become naturally closer without my noticing. There was no place to retreat to, only the closeness of people who cared. My partner stood just outside the circle, watching with a calm that steadied me. This is what I meant. He said, "Tonight, you don't carry anything alone." My heart pounded. Every gentle movement, every quiet breath, every subtle shift made it clear that the moment had arrived, there would be no backing away, no running from it. By the time my partner gave a small nod, I understood. Everything was set. The circle was complete, and what would come next was no longer a question. It was certain. The nod was small, but it held the whole evening inside it. The first guest reached for me without hesitation, guiding me back until the sofa touched the backs of my legs. His hands were steady, one at my waist, one at my shoulder, helping me settle as if he knew exactly how to keep me balanced. The room seemed to narrow around that one gentle motion. My partner didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. His presence anchored everything. Before I could gather my breath, the second guest stepped in, lifting me smoothly back to my feet. The shift was sure and confident. I felt the guidance at my wrists, the soft pull turning me slightly, helping me find my footing. The first didn't go far. He stayed close, his sleeve brushing my arm. A third presence settled behind me, his quiet breath near my ear. The circle tightened, not with force, but with intention. One adjusted my stance. Another steadied my shoulders. The third placed a supportive hand at my back and applied the gentlest pressure. It wasn't demanding, it was comforting. They began to guide me gently between them to the sofa again, supported down, then lifted up, turned, positioned, and turned again. Each change happened in smooth rhythm, like a shared understanding of how to move together. My feet learned the flow, heel on the rug, toe by the edge of the table, ankle steadied by a careful hand, then set back where they wanted me for the next moment. My partner spoke only in soft instructions. There. Hold now. Every word tightened the focus of the room. I lost count of how many times they shifted my position. One braced me lightly by the wall, his arm beside my head, while the second took my hands and guided them to his chest. Another moment, I was at the sofa again, knees brushing the cushion as the third stepped close, filling the space with warmth. When one hand left my arm, another replaced it instantly, mapping the moments the others missed. They kept me moving. A turn across the rug, a slow bend shaped by a hand between my shoulders, a gentle lift at my side. Enough to make me feel weightless for a second. My breath rose and fell in uneven waves matching their tempo. I could feel each person's unique way of supporting me. Precise one, the grounding one, the quiet one with steady breath. They learned me. They learned what made my shoulders tense, what helped them relax, what softened my breathing, what helped me stand steadier. They repeated those discoveries carefully until I responded instinctively. Step, relax, lean, breathe. The rhythm wasn't rushed. It wasn't overwhelming. It was intentional. Each shift added a new layer of comfort. A hand here, a guiding touch there, my back meeting the wall, then the sofa, then a steady shoulder, then the open air before another hold found me. Somewhere in the middle of it, I tried to reach for control out of habit and found only their support and his plan. The guests gathered at once, one behind, one in front, one at my side, creating a frame that didn't waver. Hands held my wrists and set them gently. A broad shoulder rested beneath my cheek. A hand at my side kept me steady. The room pulsed around me. I let the last bit of resistance melt because there was nowhere for fear to go, only warmth. Good, my partner said, and the word moved through me like a key turning. They guided me forward and the pace deepened. Each time one person let go, another was already there. The sound was only breath, fabric, and small gentle noises. Someone's cuff brushing the sofa, a quiet step on the rug, a ring tapping the table edge as a hand passed by. I tried to speak once and managed only a small, shaky sound. It didn't matter. They understood without words. I remember being lifted just slightly, my toes leaving the ground, then sat down again and guided forward, then upright with a soft tug. Someone's knuckles brushed my ribs. Someone's thumb steadied my jaw. Someone counted under his breath to keep the timing calm. I didn't know whose hands were whose anymore, only that each one was welcome, because he had said they were here for me. Time blurred. There was before the nod, and then there was this. Everything else faded. The house, the street, the world outside, all disappeared. I was held in a small universe of hands, breath, and soft instructions. Each moment layered onto the next until the entire night felt like a single, unbroken motion. The emotional peak came quietly. I realized I had stopped searching for control and had started trusting the center they made for me. My body had learned their rhythm. When one reached, I was already leaning. When one guided, I met the support with what strength I had left. When one steadied my shoulders, I rested into his hold and felt the entire circle tighten with shared focus. Now, my partner said softly, just this, and the moment closed like a hand around a flame. They supported me all at once. My wrists held and then released to fall exactly where they wanted them. My stance adjusted and then settled. My back eased into a curve and then straightened. My breath opened because a hand asked for calm and I gave it. I surrendered to it. No pressure, no demands, only the emotional connection he had created and the way it moved through me. I met the final wave of feeling with the last of my breath. A broken, relieved sound escaped me, and the circle answered by drawing me closer. For a suspended moment, I felt weightless among their hands, held in the center of a small gravity made only of care. The room tightened, then softened, then rested. When it eased, I stayed upright only because they kept me there. Their hands still anchoring my arms, my waist, the side of my face. My partner leaned back, quiet satisfaction in his eyes, sharper than any smile. Exactly as I hoped, he said. And the night stayed right there at its highest point, refusing to fall. That was my night held, surrounded, and supported exactly the way he planned. But tell me if it were you, would you have let it happen or would you have stopped it? Be honest. Do you wish you were there too? If you were, what would you be doing? Tell me in the comments. I'll be reading. If this story kept you with me, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the next one. Thanks for staying until the end. Your support means everything.